Alright guys, Smith & Wesson just dropped something that's got me pretty excited. The brand new Shield X just got revealed. And honestly, this might be the biggest Shield update we've seen in forever. So what makes this special? Well, they've redesigned the grip, made it optics ready, and basically listened to what concealed carriers have been begging for, without losing that rock-solid reliability we all know and love. I'm gonna break down everything you need to know today. Features, how it shoots, what it costs, and whether you should ditch your current carry gun for this thing. Disclaimer: this video's for educational purposes only, guys. I'm basing everything on the latest info and early reports that are out there. Always be safe with firearms, and definitely check your local laws before buying or carrying anything. Design and features. Okay, so let me tell you about this thing, because Smith & Wesson didn't just change a few little details here. They basically reimagined what a shield could be while keeping all the good stuff that made us fall in love with these guns in the first place. The frame is where things get interesting right off the bat. They borrowed a bunch of ergonomic tricks from their Bodyguard 2.0, and honestly, that was smart as heck. This grip has a way deeper beaver tail cut that pretty much eliminates slide bite completely. If you've got smaller hands and ever had issues with previous shields, this is gonna be a game changer for you. The trigger guard got undercut more too, which lets you grip higher on the frame. And before you think that's just for comfort, it's not. It's pure physics. Higher grip equals less muzzle flip and faster follow-up shots. Now let's talk numbers, because this is where it really gets good. Overall length is 6.87 inches, which is longer than old shields because of that extended 3.6-inch barrel. Width stays at 0.90 inches though, so your holsters should still work fine. Weight comes in at 20.8 ounces unloaded. That's nice and substantial without being a boat anchor on your belt. But here's the kicker, and this is what really caught my attention. Capacity-wise, we're looking at 13 rounds in the flush magazine and 15 in the extended one. That's a huge jump over the Shield Plus that only gave you 10+1 and 13+1. 15+1 in something this size? That's serious firepower right there. The trigger keeps that familiar M&P feel, but they've refined it some. Early word is it breaks cleaner and resets shorter than previous shields, though we're still waiting on detailed testing to confirm exact specs. You can get it with or without a manual thumb safety, depending on what you prefer. There's also a 10-round version for folks in restricted states, which is thoughtful of them. They're making these at their brand new Tennessee facility using Armorite finish on stainless steel slides with enhanced polymer frames. Build quality looks like it reflects all the lessons they learned from consolidating their operations. Performance upgrades. So the Shield X isn't just about looking different. It's got some real performance improvements that tackle common complaints about micro compacts. That longer 3.6-inch barrel doesn't just give you more rounds. It improves ballistics and gives you a longer sight radius for better accuracy potential. Those grip improvements I mentioned aren't just comfort features either. The higher hand placement and better texturing actually translates to measurably better recoil control. Early folks who've shot it say there's noticeably less muzzle flip, and you can get back on target faster compared to older Shield models. They completely redesigned the slide serrations with aggressive front and rear cuts that give you way better purchase. If you've ever tried racking a slide with wet or sweaty hands, you'll appreciate this upgrade big time. Here's something cool. The Shield X has Smith & Wesson's new ClearSight cut optics system. This isn't just another basic optics cut. It's designed to channel gas flow away from where your red dot mounts. Why does that matter? Well, it reduces fouling that can mess up your optic during long shooting sessions. That's the kind of real-world thinking I like to see. For the first time ever on a Shield, you get an integrated Picatinny rail. No more aftermarket modifications or weird workarounds. You can mount whatever light or laser you want straight from the factory. Standard sights are Ameriglow Trooper Lumigreen night sights, which is nice. The optics cut works with RMSC and K footprint red dots, so most popular micro dots will fit without needing adapter plates. Early accuracy reports suggest the longer barrel and better ergonomics combine for noticeably improved precision. We don't have comprehensive testing data yet, but all the platform improvements point toward better practical accuracy than previous generations. The texturing on the slide and frame gives you solid grip without being too aggressive for daily carry. Seems like they found that sweet spot between control and comfort that matters when you're carrying every day. Hey, real quick favor, if you're loving this Shield X breakdown, smash that like and subscribe. It helps us make more content like this. Alright, back to it. Comparisons to previous Shield models. If you're already carrying a Shield, you're probably wondering whether this is worth upgrading to, or if it's just minor improvements. Honestly, the answer depends on what matters most to you in a carry gun. Compared to the Shield Plus, the capacity increase is huge. We're talking 3 extra rounds in the flush magazine, and 2 more in the extended one. For some people, that alone might justify the upgrade. Those ergonomic improvements from the Bodyguard 2.0 are a real step forward in shootability. The original Shield and 2.0 worked fine, but weren't exactly refined when it came to how your hand interfaces with the gun. Size-wise, the Shield X sits between the original Shield's tiny dimensions and bigger carry guns. If you've been carrying an original Shield and wanting more capability, this might be that perfect middle ground you've been looking for. But if hiding the gun is your main priority, the Shield X's bigger size might work against you. The longer barrel and slightly larger package trades some concealment for better performance. Here's something to consider though. You can't use your old Shield magazines in this thing, so existing Shield owners will need new mags and probably new holsters too. That's extra cost on top of the gun price. The optics-ready capability and integrated rail are features that old Shields just couldn't offer without aftermarket work. If you've been wanting to add a red dot or weapon light to your Shield, the Shield X gives you those options right out of the box. For current Shield owners, it really comes down to whether the enhanced capabilities are worth the investment in a new platform plus accessories. If your current Shield does what you need reliably, there's no rush to upgrade. Competition check. The Shield X is jumping into one of the most competitive segments in the gun world. There's some serious established players with strong track records and loyal customers. Let's see how it measures up against the big names. SIG's P365 series has pretty much owned this space since it came out, and there's good reasons for that. The regular P365 gives you a 10+1 in a smaller package than the Shield X, while the P365 XL offers similar capacity in comparable size. SIG's got the advantage of proven reliability, tons of aftermarket support, and lots of different variants. The Shield X fights back with better ergonomics and features that SIG often makes you pay extra for. Glock's 43X MOS brings that Glock reliability reputation, plus optics-ready capability and the option for aftermarket high-cap mags. The 43X feels more substantial than the Shield X, but that comes with more size and weight. Glock's big advantage is the ecosystem. Holsters, parts, and accessories are literally everywhere. The Shield X counters with better ergonomics and higher factory capacity. Springfield's Hellcat series deserves serious consideration, especially the Hellcat Pro. Similar capacity to the Shield X, good reliability, track record, and competitive pricing make it a strong option. The Hellcat's advantage is it's already established with a good track record and slightly smaller overall footprint. The Shield X fights back with superior ergonomics and that integrated rail system. Price-wise, The Shield X sits at $599 MSRP, which puts it in premium territory, but competitive with similar offerings from SIG and others. When you factor in the included night sights, optics-ready capability, and integrated rail, the value gets more compelling. The real question isn't which gun is objectively best, because they're all capable platforms. It comes down to personal priorities and what matters to you. Price, availability, and configurations. Smith & Wesson priced the Shield X at $599 MSRP, which puts it solidly in the premium micro-compact category. Street prices will probably settle around $50 to $75 below that, once the initial demands calm down. That pricing actually makes sense when you look at what you get. Optics-ready slide, integrated rail, night sights, and 2 magazines included. Compare that to competitors that often charge extra for similar features, and the value proposition gets better. You'll be able to get 3 main versions: standard striker-fired, one with manual thumb safety, and a 10-round variant for restricted states. All models come with both the 13-round flush and 15-round extended magazines, plus those Ameriglow night sights. The Shield X launches from Smith & Wesson's new Tennessee facility, which should help with consistent availability once production gets up to speed. Early adopters might face some wait times, since demand usually exceeds initial supply for popular new releases. No word yet on optics-included packages, but given current market trends, don't be surprised to see bundle deals with popular micro red dots showing up later. The aftermarket will probably provide plenty of accessory options as more people adopt the platform. For budget-conscious buyers, this pricing puts the Shield X above entry-level carry options, but competitive within its feature class. The question becomes whether the enhanced capabilities justify the premium over basic alternatives. Final take. The Shield X feels like Smith & Wesson finally listened to what concealed carriers have been asking for: better capacity, optics-ready capability, improved shootability, all without going crazy on size or complexity. They took the proven Shield platform and fixed its main weaknesses, while keeping what made it popular in the first place. Those ergonomic improvements from the Bodyguard 2.0 represent real progress in micro-compact design. The capacity bump to 13+1 standard and 15+1 extended puts the Shield X ahead of most competitors. The integrated features, like the rail and refined optics cut, show they're thinking about real-world user needs. Potential downsides include the size increase over previous shields, which might not appeal to folks prioritizing ultimate concealability. The price premium puts it above budget options, and the new magazine requirement creates extra costs for existing Shield owners. Overall, the Shield X looks like Smith & Wesson's most sophisticated attempt to reclaim leadership in the micro-compact space. Whether it succeeds depends on execution quality and market acceptance, but the feature set addresses real gaps in their lineup. For new concealed carry buyers, the Shield X deserves serious consideration alongside established competitors. For existing Shield owners, the upgrade decision depends on whether enhanced capabilities justify the investment. Either way, Smith & Wesson has created a compelling option that should shake up the micro-compact marketplace. So will you be grabbing the new Shield X, or sticking with your current carry gun? I'm really curious to see how this plays out once people actually get their hands on it. The specs look promising, but as always, the proof is in the performance. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Are you excited about the Shield X, or do you think Smith & Wesson should have gone a different direction? Make sure to subscribe to All About Survival for more firearms news and in-depth breakdowns of every major release. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss our upcoming comparison videos and range tests.